ever been in a high-stake situation in your career where you played small? Hello, I'm Ursula Botha. I'm a speaking and confidence coach, and I help people to build their executive presence in the modern workplace. And today I am very excited to share with you a confidence strategy that you can use for those high-stake moments when you need to show up with all of your confidence. Have you identified what is that high-stake moment in your career where you really need to step up and have all of your confidence? Now, the reason why this is a high-stake moment is because you really are in the lion's den. This is what Theodore Roosevelt refers to as the arena. And the critics, they're watching you. They're watching every step. So really, the pressure is on. Now, usually my clients will say to me, I'm pretty confident 80 to 90% of the time. But there are those situations that kind of trip me up and I really find myself playing small. Some examples of those situations could be when you are being interviewed for your dream job, or you are speaking to senior managers, or you are pitching to that hot client and your boss is watching you, or you're going to a networking event and you are an introvert. So a lot of people have stories around these moments. I often hear the ones about, but I'm shy, or I'm short, or I'm single, I'm blonde, I don't have a degree, I don't have a master's degree, I've never done this before, I'm too young. Now, I don't know if you've subscribed to any of these stories, but these stories are choices, and they're keeping you small for those high-stake moments that could really propel you forward. So today, I want to help you craft your presence and your confidence for those moments, because I really believe that this is a craft that you can master. So I'm going to share with you my story and then my confident voice blueprint that you could start implementing today. I did not come out of the womb with confidence. I was extremely shy. I actually cast myself as the extra in my own movie and not as the lead character. And this really kept me small and held me back for a very long time. So I had to become the heroine of my own story, and I did this not through a Prince Charming who came to save me. I actually, 3 things that helped me: becoming an actress so that I could learn how to play the part, writing so I could script my story, and then my journey in academia, in academic writing, where I learned about social constructivism and constructing your identity. Now, in the world of acting, you get performance presence. And when an actor reaches performance presence, that's really when you draw your audience in. People can't stop watching you. They go on an emotional journey with you. And then afterwards, they say, that actor is so talented. But the question is, can talent carry you all the way through for that heightened performance? And I believe it's a craft that you have to master. Talent alone is not enough. Let's take an easy example. Gary Player, clearly a very talented golfer. But he doesn't just sit on the couch and then arrive on the high-stake day with all of his talent and hope for the best. No, he famously said, Gary Player said, the more I practice, the luckier I get. And the same for you in your high-stake moment. So I became very curious about executive presence and the parallel that has with your performance presence as an actor. But see, the only difference is where an actor gets a script and gets a character bio. Here, in the modern workplace, you create the script and you are the character that you need to craft. So there's some lessons we can learn from acting. For example, you learn how to master your instrument, your voice, and your body. You need to know yourself, and you need to observe situations, people, behaviors. So I became really interested in this concept of executive presence. And a study done by the Center of Talent Innovation found that 26% of career promotion is because of your executive presence. So here we have a wonderful tool that could really advance your career and get you to move forward. Now, Sylvia and Hewlett did a study where they found that executive presence stands on these 3 pillars. First, we have communication, then gravitas, and then your image. And as I was researching this and really getting to know these pillars, I felt that there was another pillar that had to hold the building up so we can have a really solid foundation. And that is your mindset. You really, in order to become the hero or the heroine of your own story, you need to take agency. You have to overcome those limiting beliefs of being shy, being an introvert, being the only woman in the room, and create that new reality for yourself. This is a head game. Then we go to the next part of the Confident Voice Blueprint, and that is your communication. Now, see, an actor knows that they need to know their instrument. This is your voice and your body. So when you say to someone, please speak louder, usually people will start forcing the sound from their throat and really hurt their vocal folds. If you ask an actor or a great speaker to speak louder, they know that they need to breathe into their back, because that really gives you the power to get your voice through. Know your instrument. James Bond. Does the man fidget? No, because he knows that that won't convey power, authority, and assertiveness. Know your instrument. Next, we move to gravitas. This is a really juicy topic, and this is all about being the expert in your field, having knowledge about what you're all about, what your product is about. But then it doesn't help to only have knowledge. In the modern workplace, it's really crucial to be able to communicate that knowledge in a way for others to understand. And then we get to the last part of the Confident Voice Blueprint, and that is your image. Now, every actor knows when they go for that audition, they need to dress the part. You dress for the part that you want to have, so that the director can see you in that role and cast you. And you want to do the same in your career. Don't dress for the part you have, but dress for the part you are moving towards. And there you have it, the Confident Voice Blueprint. It is your communication, your gravitas, your image, and your mindset, so that you can become the hero or heroine of your story. Now, I have a confident call to action for you today. I want you to identify what is that high stake situation that kind of trips you up, where the pressure is really, really on. What is that for you? And now, look at the model. What one thing can I start working on today? Is it my speaking? Is it growing my knowledge? Is it the way I dress? Or do I need to overcome some limiting beliefs? Now, I would love to do some meaningful work with you in crafting your presence and your confidence for you or your team, you can go to my website, confidentvoices.co.za, connect with me over there, or I love LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Ursula Botha. And let's help you craft your confidence, because you can do this for those high stake situations.
Let's talk about that first sale, your story of success. Now, you've been going at this with us for 5 days now. So you've got your network on social media, you've got your product tested, you've got an idea around your pricing, you've got your picture ready, and now you're going out there to sell. So whatever your product is, take a picture or a video, post it on your WhatsApp, send it around to friends and family, ask them to send it to people, put it on your Facebook, and get people to buy your product. And remember to include purchase details and price so people know where to get the product and how much it's going to cost them. A great thing to include in this is testimonials. So if the people that you tested out your product or your service with really liked it, get them to send you a note, whether it's a picture of them using your product or service, whether it's them congratulating you, and put that up with that. That adds value and credibility and makes other people want to buy it as well. A good part of sharing your story is that people also want to see you succeed. So when you share that story around your first sale, other people want to be part of that success. Remember, it's a great thing to have your first success. So take the time to celebrate it and share it with other people. The more people see, the more people share. The more people share, the more people want to buy in and be part of the excitement with you. And that's always a great way to bring in more customers and to continue to have more things to celebrate. Look out for the action steps that are coming up next.
Welcome, you're watching HybriCON 2022, and that was Ursula Botha. That was such a lovely talk. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
We do a wine. Thank you. It was wonderful. I'm startled because there's so much information that you always share. I mean, I've been seeing you on social media, and I see what you do all the time. And I wanted to know about your story, and I think you should share your story about how this all started. How did Confident Voices start conceptually?
So Confident Voices was a COVID baby.
There you go, as many are.
When our world changed and the way we did business changed, and I got a lot of requests on social media for coaching, and especially my skills as an actor, where now everybody's on online, everybody's got a camera on, and there was really this need.
Yeah.
And I love being able to help people in this way. And so confident voices became a thing. And today I'm coaching so many amazing people all over the world, working with companies and helping people really find their voices. Well, you don't find your voice.
Yeah.
We all have a voice. But it's developing that voice in terms of what do you want to say, and then also the sound of your voice, understanding how that works.
There's so much, we've got to break it down a little bit, okay?
Let's break it a little bit.
Yes, break it down a little bit. Because, I mean, in the workspace, obviously, I mean, a lot of people just think, well, I just kind of show up and this is a Zoom meeting, or this is just, half the people are in the office and half of the people aren't in the office, and, you have to show up if you do something on Zoom, right? I mean, I'm startled that it's 3 years later and people still don't know where the button is to switch the microphone on speaking turns.
Can we just have this conversation? The camera must always be on. Always. No excuses. No, I just went to gym or anything like that. And I think why people still make excuses and not put the cameras on. In South Africa, they make the excuse about load shedding. And that's an excuse we need to have a plan for. You need to have backup.
Surely.
I think some people don't always know how to look their best on camera. They haven't bought a ring light yet. And I know how you feel about ring lights, but please buy a ring light.
At least that, at the very least.
Zoom.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, somebody goes, yes, but I feel intimidated, or I don't feel. But I thought on the flip side of it, isn't it true that in having confidence and showing up in the workplace, you have to be visible? Because if you're invisible, what the what?
Yeah. I spoke to somebody recently. So you have to have that presence, and we are visual creatures. So we need to see people online. And I worked with somebody on her confidence, and super confident, very dynamic, very strong. She goes into work twice a week. And when she goes in, she's got her A game on, she's got her armor, her confidence armor, she's looking good, she's feeling good, and she nails it.
Beautiful.
And she found that the moments where that trip her up, the moments where she's coming across like a little girl and not her best self, are the moments when she's on camera, but she's not switching her camera on, and she's wearing sloppy clothes.
Yeah. So it starts, you would say, part of what you coach and part of where you start is how you show up physically also, so that you build your confidence. What would you say?
It's both.
It is.
Because confidence has layers. So there is the physical part, because that your non-verbals, before you ever say something, people have already made up their mind and they've already assessed you. And the way you feel also has a big impact on how you come across. And then, I mean, you can be a great voice artist. You can have this beautiful voice. But if you don't look the part, it all plays together.
Now, I want you to emphasize for us how important this combination is in the workplace. And how do you coach people in that space?
How important is your presence in the workplace?
Say why. I know why. I think I know why.
The thing is, I think people think speaking is easy, and they wing it. And they get to do a presentation, and they wing it, and then they fall flat on their faces.
Yeah.
And then they think they're going to wing it again, and they're going to wing it again. And there's a sloppy thinking about it that needs to shift and change.
Yeah. You know, I couldn't agree with you more. There was something, I mean, many years ago at Mnet, there was a young lady who was a lovely actress, and she was a very good singer as well. And her model at the time, she modeled her work after Barbra Streisand. And Barbra Streisand had just done a concert at her home or something. And, you know, with such confidence and such ease, Barbara was doing these bits of dialogue and little jokes that were rolling over and stuff. And she said, that's what I want to do, but I'm just going to do it live on the night. And I was like, you have to understand that this woman gets written by Ashford and Simpson, two of the best lyric writers, write every single word that she says. It looks effortless, but it takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
When it looks easy, you've nailed it, but you know how much work went into making it look easy.
But we don't want to act, though. We don't want people to switch on the Zoom and perform. No. But what is it that they do? What is it that you coach?
So, for example, if you want to have an authentic voice, now we know that, especially as women, when we get nervous, we go into the high pitch, the high resonators, high pitches, and we don't come across as our best selves. So we want to bring the voice lower. But for example, now we get all these voices that go low, and that is not authentic.
No.
And that's acting. And you can smell it from a mile away. You can hear it from a mile away. So you really want to And what I do with my clients is we get to open up and release the tension from your voice. We work your voice because it is a muscle that you need to work. You release the tension. We find your real voice, which does resonate low, but it's not a forced low.
It's not a performance, it's performative perhaps.
It's got, and listen, in some situations you have to up
switch it
the
on.
energy. You have to up it. Right now, in front of camera, we're upping the energy a little.
Not true, she's like this always. She's like this all the time.
There's a bit of a performative element, but always with the authenticity. But I do believe that authenticity is something that we feel and we resonate with on a gut level.
I love it. Now, if somebody else loves this and they want to know where to get hold of you, in this clip, tell us, how do people get hold of you? Where do they go?
Go to my website, confidentvoices.co.za. You can connect with me, click on the work with me button, and I'll get straight back to you. Or on LinkedIn, Ursula Botha on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn.
And I see you a whole lot on Instagram as well.
Yes, I'm actually taking a little break on Instagram
Okay.
right now. I'm trying to break, but I do love Instagram. Ursula Botha. Yes, I've changed my name to Ursula Botha there as well.
Good name. It works well.
Thank you. Yeah, it works.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We're going to do more because I want to delve into a little bit more voice work and about the way that she says button. I like that. We're going to be back right after this. Don't go away. You're watching HybriCON 2022. I'm Nico Steyn and I'm talking to the fabulous Ursula Botha. She just changed the name to that. I like
The
that.
fabulous.
The fabulous.
Ursula
I like that. And I like the way that before we went away you said button for the button. I want to talk to you about phrasing and stuff as well. You work with voices and confident voices. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts around American type phrasing. Because we speak television. We'll be back right after the break. It's a kind of a phrasing and phraseology of words that sound more pizzazzy in a way. Or how do you feel about doing that when somebody speaks or is in the workplace?
Well, to be honest, I think earlier maybe my mouth is just dry and that's why it came out a bit American.
Okay.
I guess we are influenced. Even that R sounds a little bit American.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should ever change our accents. That is a very important one for me.
Not putting on, but sometimes words and phrases roll over better if they have a little bit of performance in them.
A little bit of pizzazz.
Yeah.
And I find also with a lot of my clients, they fall over their words, they stumble. And then I say, let's take out that word because it's not easy for you to say that. Let's find a new word that's easy to say that you don't stumble.
Exactly, and isn't that part of authenticity really to say, use the language that you would normally use and feel comfortable with? Because if you say that jargon and that stuff, people are I usually just go, what did they just say? What is it?
They say.
You know, we need to simplify communication, right? We need to simplify the message. Let's get a little bit to the message as well. You work with gravitas.
Yes, gravitas.
Gravitas. And what does that all entail? I mean, how do you teach that?
So gravitas have got a little formula for that. It's based on Aristotle's formula for persuasion, but I've just spiced it up a little. So Aristotle said you persuade, and again, persuasion, not in a negative way, not in a negative way. Yeah, I've got clients who come to me and they say, speaking is my livelihood. I am an advocate. I need to speak in the bar. I need to root for my clients. Like their lives are at stake here. Then I need to have some persuasion tools and use my voice and my skill.
Surely, yeah.
And so Aristotle he says you use your logos, your ethos, and your pathos. And then I say minus anxiety, because that trips you up. Now we have gravitas.
Okay, and that's
what's all these things she's saying? So logos is being an expert in your field. Do the homework. Know what products am I selling? what is my services all about? What is my company's
universe.
services?
Yeah.
Yes, know it, and be able to express that. I've got strategies, I've got tools for you. Some people are going to find in my coaching and in my workshops. Then there's your ethos. This is your credibility. People want to work with people they trust. You can be the best in their field. I want to trust you before I work with you. And then we have our pathos, which is your passion, the way you speak, and that goes back a little bit to the communication. So there are overlaps.
Okay. Now this is what you teach, and this we're going to have on HybriCON. This is in your workshops.
We're going to have this, some of this in HybriCON. What are we going to have?
Tell us what we can look out for.
I am very excited about HybriCON. So we're going to be doing 3 workshops. The first workshop is going to be your voice, building your confident voice for women.
Great.
So I'm focusing on women because there are things that we need to work on, ladies. That helps us, propels us forward, that we can do with our voices.
Beautiful. That's fantastic.
So first we were looking at women, but then we're opening it up. Workshop 2 is going to be Own the Room.
And guys can come to this one.
Guys can come to this one.
Okay, great.
Own the room.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And there are many rooms. The boardroom, the networking room, the room with a client, building that trust element, your non-verbals. There's so much good stuff in here. And I'm going to push people out of their comfort zone. I've got some great tools and exercises that's really going to take you out of your comfort zone.
Fantastic.
And then we're going to get to cross-cultural communication.
Which is so important, particularly in South Africa, I guess.
Yes.
But also around the world. You know, it is, I mean, people are becoming more and more aware of being inclusive, being open, being honest, being just seeing everybody, because...
Well, I hope people become more aware, but you have to, the world is getting so small because everything's going online. So we're dealing with all these different cultures. We're getting clients all over the world. And there are some elements, because you can both be speaking English, but a different language.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of good things we can learn there, which I'm very excited to be sharing.
This sounds just fantastic. So that's really, really exciting. And tell us, when is the first one, or when is it coming up?
It's all coming up here on HybriCON next week, Tuesday. Tuesday's the first one. It's the one for ladies, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday. And then they're going to be on the HybriCON site where people can purchase them afterwards.
Absolutely. You want to look out, of course, for from the weekend. You're going to want to look out for Ursula's landing page, and all of the information will be there. And we're busy frantically building that in the background because of this fantastic content that's coming out. And
you're doing so great, Nick.
We're having so much fun with it, and I think it's thrilling to be seeing this combination of people I've been talking to for so long coming together and having interaction in the studio and talking to one another as well, which is just great because it's such a great group of people, isn't it?
There is a great buzz here at the HybriCON Summit, and it's an honor to be part of it. Thank you.
So thank you. Now, we talked a lot about the stuff that you're going to do here. Also, of course, if you want to look out for more details about Ursula, you're going to see it on that landing page. But tell people in the meantime about your website as well.
Yes, so we can work together by one-on-one coaching. I can take you through a coaching journey, and that's really where you can get a lot of growth opposed to just one single session. But if you need one single session for that big presentation, let's talk, let's make it happen. And then I also work with a lot of teams in building their executive presence, because a confident team can do amazing stuff, and it's getting everybody on the same page. So we can script that confidence, and we can all go to the client with a lot of energy.
And confident voices. Great stuff. Thank you so very, very much for doing this. We're getting ready for Jabu Zwane's next, and we're lining up right away. So I'm going to say thank you, Ursula. It was wonderful.
Thank you,
and
Nico.
thank you for watching. Don't go away. There's a lot more right after this.
Bill Nye, the famous science guy, says, everyone you meet knows something you don't. And I love that, because when you go into your next interaction, go in with the intention of really listening to what the other person has to say. Author of The Road Less Traveled, Scott Peck, says,